covered 9 cars, and now it's time to break some hearts, including my own, and go buy one.
Hey, big guy. Got some good news for you.
You're gonna return the sunglasses you stole? GTA 6 came out.
Don't be silly. Come on, let's get up now.
Wow, me. It's been nearly 10 months since I first decided to buy a Miata, and now, for the first time, like literally at this moment, we're gonna take my car for a drive. So I guess the first thing you might be wondering is, why did it take so long? Well, I decided that I wanted one in August, late August of 2024. So after, oh man, this is awesome. I almost just don't even want to talk about the experience of buying it right now, because I'm getting the experience of driving it for not the first time, but the first time in a while, and the first time I'm driving my own. I had a brief outline. Let's go off the cuff. I have been looking forward to this car for a long time for a variety of reasons, and I think the main one is that there's just nothing else remotely like it. Some people would tell me, and including myself, that a Civic Type R or a Toyota GR86 is a smarter buy in my current situation, because they're both excellent performance cars. They're very engaging, and in the case of the GR86, it's not any more money, and they're a lot easier to live with. I am 6'3". Going into this, I knew that a 2,400 pound Roadster would probably be not the most sensible decision, but it's something that I'm willing to compromise on, because the Miata, as I said now 8 months ago, does not compromise. And that's the whole point. It's got to be as small as possible, and I'm just gonna have to live with that. So I think it'll be a good idea to make a video about how tall is too tall for a Miata, and also don't mind the hair. I need to get better at doing ponytails, because obviously driving this thing, I'm gonna have the top down every single damn time, because that is why I bought it. I wanted to feel as connected to my surroundings as possible. And the GR86 just doesn't do that. They can't replicate the experience that I'm having right now. It's almost like driving or riding a motorcycle, if anyone out there also partakes in that activity. Every subtle input you make has a reaction from the car. If you even think about turning or you rotate your head fast, the MX-5 changes direction, but it's natural and not darty. This thing is just fluid. It makes every little mundane drive entertaining, because you're so involved and you're getting all of the communication that you could want in most areas. Yeah, the steering, some have pointed out, it's not quite the same as a 90s Miata, but this is one of those cars where I just can't imagine anyone getting behind the wheel, dropping the top, and being in a bad mood. You can't do that. You could do that in a Type R. You could maybe do that in a GR86. It's just gonna change your day. Don't get me wrong, you're not going to cure depression with a Miata, but for the time being, it's gonna be hard to keep a smile off your face. Now, obviously, I'm gonna face some struggles beyond even just my height. This will be my only car. Thankfully, I don't have a job where I need to commute every day. I don't have high practical needs, and I might have a press car to help out when I have to haul larger items or more than one person. However, I will drive this as much as I can to see what it's like to daily a puny sports car. I'm also curious about soft top ownership. I'm wondering how difficult it will be to keep the top clean and how long it will last. Some people have said, oh, 5 years. Other people say 10, 15 even. It just depends on your usage. There are a couple of concerns that I have beyond just my comfort. I do think that my knees are maybe getting in and out of this thing. I do have some mild knee issues. They could become a little bit more moderate knee issues after driving this for a while. We'll find out. And I am pretty sure if I were in a rollover situation, my head would be the roll bar. So I might get one that extends above the factory setup, get that welded in, so long as I can make it look nice. But yeah, there's a few things to tend to, I guess. Maybe the wheels. I'm not a huge fan of how they look. I could also upgrade the sway bars early on. I don't know. Miata owners, what are the things that you recommend I do first? Tell me in the comments section. There's going to be a lot of new things for me as a car enthusiast and as a car owner to experience with the Miata, and I think it's going to make me better at my job, really, especially when it comes to sports cars. I plan on taking this to a track and hopefully honing in on my skills a little bit more there. The nice thing with the Miata is that you can really go all out, and you don't have to worry about expensive tires, brakes, and you don't wear through things quite as fast because there's not as much weight. For track work, you might be wondering why I didn't go with the Brembo BBS package. And the main reason why is because this is going to be a daily driver for me. And the Grand Touring has a more thickly insulated top, so that should help with road noise a little bit. Because I mean, I drove a Club BBS in the series last year. That was quite noisy. It was hard to hold a conversation on the highway, so I'm hoping that this one will be better. I'll do a sound test with a Club BBS or something in the future, just to tell you guys what the difference is between the two exactly. Maybe it's not as big as I was thinking. But I also think that these seats give me a little bit more clearance. Maybe I'm going crazy, but I swear that I have a little bit more headroom and knee room by a marginal amount. We'll get them side by side and we'll see what's what. And I also just think that the interior is a little bit nicer. It was a little bit cheaper, but really I was quite torn between the two. Maybe a full Miata buyer's guide will come down the line to help people in a similar situation. Let me know what MX-5 videos you'd want first. Now, let's go back to that buying experience. I decided on the Miata in late summer 2024. I then waited for 2025 orders to open, which happened in December. I requested a red Grand Touring manual soft top the day that the dealer told me I could. It was built in late January and arrived at the Tacoma, Washington port before March. However, that's when Mazda decided that the traction control system wasn't warning drivers when it should. The fix ended up being to replace the ABS unit. I'd like to shout out Royal South Mazda, who not only completed this fast, but they also videotape services like this for their customers. Some people did receive their 2025 MX-5s before they were trapped at port, and I'd expect those cars to have recall notices shortly. So, how did the finances play out here? The MSRP of my car was $36,900. I paid $36,000 even, which is about $150 over the invoice price. After tax, title, and dock fees, the total was $38,710. Unfortunately, the special financing rate of 3.9% was for only 36 months, meaning that my payment is quite high, yet my insurance dropped about $20 every month compared to the GR Corolla, and I get like 10 more miles for every gallon of premium fuel. I denied any dealer add-ons, though I did install a paint protection film on the front and a ceramic coating for the rest of the vehicle in order to protect its notoriously thin paint. I also already replaced the goofy antenna and have some rock guards on the way. We'll go over these things and if I think they're worth it in a later video. Thankfully, despite sitting at the port for about 3 months, the car cleaned up really well in most places. What I'd like to do ideally after a year or so of daily driving this is buy a dedicated daily driver, whether that be something new like that Ford Maverick I drove here recently, or if the views don't quite justify that car, I could just pick up something used $10,000, $15,000 Lexus ES, and that can just eat up miles, and then I can baby this car more or dive deeper into track shenanigans. This is not, for me, a channel car. This is my car that will happen to be featured on the channel. I am not turning this around and selling it after a couple of years unless for some reason it doesn't fit my lifestyle and I decide to move on. I think I'm gonna stop the video there because it's time to enjoy this on a beautiful, beautiful day. You guys have a wonderful rest of your week, and thank you so much for making this a reality. None of this would be possible without you. And to the channel members who have helped me improve the quality of my videos, thank you as well. I'll catch you in the next one.